Greetings to everyone. Let's get right at it. Will Shannon Sharpe miss $100 million for the deal that he had on the table that he was just inches away from? Old timers said, you can't miss what you never had. But family, I don't know. $100 million is a lot of money not to miss. Myself, personally, in my professional career as a bail bondsman and a real estate broker, I've had two big deals fall apart, big for me. The larger one was a $70,000 deal that fell apart at the closing table. The other one was a $20,000 deal that fell apart prior to going to the closing table. It was a breach of contract. Now, family, I'm a small fish. And these deals was at least 15 years ago. And I have to admit, as positive as I attempt to be, I miss that money. So, family, I just don't know. That got to hurt. Uh, and literally, it's like money for Shelter Shop down the hole, figuratively speaking. Shannon Sharpe don't seem to be laughing, hee haw, and geeky about it on his platform. In fact, he rarely mentioned it on his platform, Club Shay Shay and Nightcap. And I think that's the best thing for him to do. In fact, in my opinion, I think Shannon Sharpe has already spoken too much, and I'm not sure he got the best legal advice from his counsel. That's just my opinion. From being a 30-year bail bondsman, and I've dealt with some big cases, not as big as this, but I kind of understand the process uh, or how it goes. And I also understand the negotiation process and whether or not you want to leave a paper trail when you negotiation. So, also, another question that comes to mind to me at this time is should Shannon Sharp still negotiate to sell? It might be better to continue to negotiate to sell and get this over as quick as possible and continue to rebuild and rehabilitate his public image. Hope that something bigger come along, maybe the Diddy trial star, and over time, people forget about Shannon Shaw and this episode, since there's a lot of people on both sides of this as to who's right and who's wrong. So, family, another thing Shannon has to take in consideration, as I mentioned in previous videos, is punitive damages. Punitive damages could be very high in a case like this. Uh, or I think this case is in Nevada. So, family, looked at some laws in Nevada. Punitive damage can be three times compensatory damages. And family, compensatory damages are, let me see, compensatory damages. If I can find it right quick, I did some research on it. But it's basically what she would win for her losses to make her whole. So, family, it could still be a whole lot of money. And I'm still not sure Shannon Sharp want to go to a trial and have even further details about his life, personal life, and maybe previous a pattern of this that seemed to be evolving in this case, put out in the public. So it might still be to his advantage to attempt to settle this case. What do you think, family? Who do you believe? Like any other case, it's a matter of who do you believe and the evidence. In fact, family, right quick, a brief history on law. Law is basically the facts and the statutes itself. And who knows what the facts are in this case? There's already some videos and text messages floating around that I don't think either way is helping Shannon Sharpe. So, family, I just want to bring that to you. $100 million is a lot of money not to miss. But, family, friends, loved ones, in the meantime, if you have legal questions, if you have consumer questions, if you have issues, legal issues, because law is everything and everything is law, that you would like for me to elaborate upon, please put your suggestions in the chat, email me, or DM me. I'd be happy to research it and give you my opinion on it. And finally, family, friend, relax, teach yourself, be vigilant out there, be careful out there, be careful how you speak to people. And nowadays, you got to be careful how you even look at people. So, thanks a million and peace. Take care and be careful.